Hello everyone, we continue our study of financial management as a part of a professional English class. My name is Timur Rustamovich Rahimov, and we today finally, after introduction, begin the study of financial management. Last time I gave you the picture of what we're going to do in our class. So we will study the two parts of financial management: understanding financial statements and analyzing financial performance. We talked about what resources we're going to use: the textbook, the lecture notes, and the Moodle. I described you the activities we will go through: reading, translating, terminology, test, discussion, presentation, and Moodle. And I gave you the breakdown on how you can get your 100 points to get your pass. But technically you need 55 plus points. Okay, so today we begin the financial management study. And here is the approach we will take in our study. On the one hand, we have what I should call the material for the class. This is Financial Management Study Book. You should have by now the link to this textbook, which you can download on your computer. Here, via the link, you can get always the latest version. So if anything is updated, you can re-download the book and have the latest version at your disposal. Now, if you look at the contents of the book, you see that we have these sections, and today we begin with the introduction to financial management. Before we study the financial statements, we will first get the idea of what financial management is about and how financial manager performs his duty and work as a financial manager. And we will also talk about accounting. But in this class today, we will begin with chapter 1, what is financial management? But we are not going to study the material itself. So you can read the material from this study book. My focus will be not the material itself, but some extra ideas that will come from the terminology that we have in this study book. For example, you have the highlighted terminology, like for example, you see there is here the words financial management is highlighted, efficient, effective, so any of these terms you can push and just press on any of this term and it will give you the translation in the textbook. So it's better to use your computer as you read. Consult the translations of this terminology, which you will need for the class. What I'm going to do is that, so you will get idea from the book, but I'm going to present some extra ideas which I find beneficial for better understanding the financial management and the terminology used in it. For example, today we will talk about terms efficient. We will talk about effective. We will talk about business functions. Where is it? Supporting business functions. And I think I want to talk about enterprise goals. So let's see what we have to say about this. So I go back to my notes. And so let's begin. The first thing I want to talk about is to talk about two words: efficient, and versus the word, let me use a different term for this, effective. effective. Efficient versus effective. Okay. So it's an interesting concept. In Russian, we have the same word, effectively, which is used as a translation for both of these terms. But in English, there is a difference. And we're going to talk about this difference today. So in order to express the difference between these two words, I'm going to use like a picture. Two arrows. So this is like an X arrow, which will focus on efficiency. Efficiency. And the Y will focus on effectiveness. Okay. So the beginning of it will be like a 0. So if you're familiar with math and graphs, so this is like a graph, X, Y, and 0. But I'm going to develop a matrix of efficiency and effectiveness. First idea I want you to understand is that the word efficiency focuses more on the process. So I'll write down the focus is on the process. The process. Okay? So the efficiency is about how well you do things in the process. Okay? The effectiveness is the word that used when you want to focus is on results. So the focus is on results. So results, process. Okay. So let's think of some examples. Okay. So let's say you are doing the dishes in the kitchen at home. And if you want to focus on efficiency, you pay attention more to the process of washing. So you are trying to do it in the most efficient way, which means that you may be thinking about how to use less soap, dishwashing soap, how to use less water to do the dishes, and how to combine all the plates and the cups to put them in the sink in the right way, and then dry them and put them up in the dryer. So this is your efficiency. Okay. When you focus on the effectiveness, so you are focusing more on how fast you can do the dishes. So maybe you will not care so much about how much soap you use, how much water you use. It just, maybe you're in a hurry, so you just want to be effective. You just want to do it as soon as possible, be done in 5 minutes, and go do other things. So you're focusing on result. The dishes should be done, okay? So this is one example of how it is different. Another example would be in the university as students. There are students who come to the classes and they bring their notebooks, they take notes, they try to pay attention to what the teacher is saying. So they're studying nicely and smoothly all through semester, and they try to understand everything that the teacher says. So, and they watch all the videos that he provides. They study all the terminology that he gives. So they are trying to be efficient. Their process of studying is efficient. There are other students who have a different approach. They may skip classes, not come to them. They may not prepare for all the tests. They may not do the notes for the class. But usually by the end of semester, they come and they start asking teacher, what is the most important thing I need to do to get my pass? And so they try to get the result, which is their pass. if they get this result. So they're happy, they don't want to do all the process things. So they just want the result. Okay, so these are the two examples that we can, so the examples were doing dishes and studying in the university. Or just studying in the, studying in the university. Okay. So let's see how we can divide all kinds of people in terms of their efficiency and effectiveness. The first group of people will be the people who pretty much don't care about efficiency and effectiveness. So they are closer to 0. So this is number one group, people who just do things. They just do things. Okay? They don't think about the process, they don't think about the results. They just go with the flow. Go with the flow. If they want to do things, they do it. If they don't want to do things, they don't do it. Okay, so another group of people, these are process people. These are the people who like to focus on the process. So this is the second group. These are the people who like doing things right. They like to do things right. Whatever they do, they try to do it right. Right way to do the dishes, right way to study in the university, right way of ironing the clothes or drying the clothes or washing the clothes. So they're doing things right, people. Okay? Which is good for them. They're happier people than, let's say, people who don't care much about anything. So they're not so happy. Now, well, logically, we can go to another group of people number 3. So these are the people who care more about the results. So they are they like doing right things. They like doing right things. So they think, okay, what do I want in life? What exactly I need to achieve my goals, to get my results? I don't want to be distracted on secondary things. I want the most important thing, and I want it as soon as possible. So they are focusing on doing right things. But that is not all, because we have another group of people number 4. And so logically, you can already tell me what I should write in this quadrant. These are the people who not only care about the process, but they also care about the results. They try to be efficient and effective at the same time. So these are the people who like doing right things right. Voila. So that's what we can say about the 4th group of people. And if you think about this, you can apply this idea to a life in terms of efficiency and effectiveness. Are you more like the blue person who just doesn't know what he wants and tries to do things if he wants? Or you're more like a person who is in the green, who is happy when the things are done in the right way? Or you're the person who focuses on results, and whenever you achieve a goal, you're happy? Or maybe you're the person who tries both things at the same time, and you are double happy. Okay, so you can apply it. You can apply it to your university style. You can apply it to your sports. You can apply it to your family. You can apply it to your friendships. So, and of course, the idea I want to share with you, it's always good to try to move in the direction of doing right things right. In other words, when you know what your life is about, what your goals are, and you know the technology of things, and you try to do the right things right, because this brings more success to you. So this is the first idea, as we talked about efficient and effective. Whoops, sorry. Oh, yes, in the first line. Okay, so that's one thing I want you to keep in mind whenever you read the textbook and you meet this terminology. The second idea I want to present to you is business functions, and so supporting and core business functions. So let's talk about that. I'll try to present it here. Let's call them business functions. Business functions. Okay. You can present a business in a form of chamomile. If you don't know this word, it's a flower, chamomile flower, which looks somewhat like this. Let me change the color. So it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that's like a chamomile. Okay, a flower. If you still don't get it, this is ромашка. Okay, so let's say that this is the business. Business. By the way, maybe it's a good time to give you some synonyms for business. You can use the word organization. Organization, or you can use the word company, business company, or you can use the word firm, organization, company, firm, and also enterprise. If I come up with some other words, I will add it here. So let's say you have this business organization, and the chamomile is the business function. So each company has a core function. Okay, usually the core function is the purpose why the company exists. It's core. So this is a core, and the core function may be different for different organizations. Well, let's say if you are Tomsk Polytechnic University, for TPU, the core function will be on the one hand education. So this is what we're doing, and also another core function is science. Education plus science. Okay, but in order to perform that core function, you need what is called supporting functions. So supporting functions. Well, let me change the color. Supporting functions. So supporting functions, these are like the petals of the flower. So these many petals of the flower that help the core function to be performed in the right way. So, for example, What might be the supporting functions? Well, let's say one of them is administration. Okay, so administration. So in our university, you have to have administration that will help the education and science to go on. Okay. Also, you need human resource management. Human resources management. Or, something connected with staff function. Okay. Because you need to find the teachers, you need to find the right teachers to do the teaching, and the scientists. So this is human resource management. Also, you need marketing to advertise your services, so that students will come, teachers will come. Also, you need a legal function. You need lawyers, people who know the law and can do the contracts in the right way and help with it. What else you might need? Maybe you need accounting in order to record financial transactions. And one of them, which is important to us, is financial management. Management is one of the supporting functions for business. Okay, so you can have other functions as well. You can have the some what I was thinking about, like in the Tomsk Polytechnic University, you may have the building management, because we have so many buildings and you need to make sure that they are functioning properly, etc. All other functions. So our focus is financial management function. And by the way, accounting is also somewhat close to financial management, as we will see in the future. So business functions, and when we say supporting business functions, financial management is usually one of the supporting business functions for most organizations. And Tomsk Polytechnic University is one of the examples. And so let's talk about one more idea, which we find in the book. And this is enterprise goals. In the middle of the screen, you can see financial management is an area of financial decision making, harmonizing individual motives, and enterprise goals. This is a definition given by Weston and Brigham. So let's talk about goals. Why is it an interesting and important idea? Because there are some interesting principles I want you to get out of it. Okay. So in English, there are many terms connected with goals. And we can also, classify them in such a way. Okay, I'll use, again, the arrows on both sides like this, which will help me classify all these goals. And there will be a range of goals depending on how specific the goals are or general. So the goals may be very specific or very general, or the scope of the goals, they may be small or they may be very big. So this is kind of the scope, the scope of goals. Okay, or maybe like something like scale. Okay, or horizon of the goals. So they may be kind of big or small, or the horizon may be low or high, small or low, and this is high. Okay, so let's see what kind of goals we may have. I will draw several steps of, well, not like a staircase of goals. Okay, and they will look somewhat like this. Okay, one step, another step, another step, and several more. Let's see if I have enough. Okay, maybe one more, or maybe two more. Okay, so let me see. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's begin with the highest, the most general goals and high on the horizon. And I will use the word here, purpose. Purpose. So this is the most general but high strategic goal. So this is kind of why do you live? Okay, so this is about let's say your purpose in life, for example. So I'll purpose in life. This kind of goals. Okay. If you step down a little bit, you may have aims. This is also general, but in order to fulfill your purpose, let's say your purpose in life is, like many people say, like my purpose is to be happy. Okay, so what aims do you need to achieve? Well, I want to be happy in my body. I want to be happy at my work. I want to be happy in my family. I want to be happy with my friends. So this may be your aims, like different areas in which you want to develop. One step down, even more specific, we will use the word goals as we mentioned it before. So this is the most general word used for goals. Okay? If you want to be even more specific, you talk about targets. So targets is more like I would use, like, if you, let's say you're trying to aim at something, so you target something. Okay, so this is even more specific. By the way, when you talk about goals, this is where we use this technology that most of you know, SMART approach. When you say that the goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. I think you should have studied it somewhere. So this technology is good with goals. It's not applicable to aims and purpose, but it works with goals and targets. So when you want to be more specific, okay? If you want even more specific goals, step down from targets, we will use the word objectives. Objectives, it's more like you can see what exactly needs to be done. Okay. Another word, even one step down, is tasks. Tasks is a certain certain amount of activities that you need to do to complete something. For example, home assignment is a task. So, for example, you need to learn 44 terms for the next class for the terminology task, for terminology test. So this is a task, okay? And finally, steps is the most specific type of goals. So it's like for you to study 44 terminology terms for the terminology test, you open the textbook, step 1, you read the chapter, step 2, you open the file with the terminology, or you look through the terminology, you learn and study by heart the terminology, and so these are all the steps. Okay, so this is the most specific. So see, these are the words that can be used for goals. Why do I give this to you? So that you can think, okay, if I think about something general in the future, strategic, you can use the word purpose, aim, goal. If you talk about something middle range, which is more specific, you can use the word target, objective, and use the word goal as well. If you talk about something like right now, very specific, you can count. It's often you can see exactly what needs to be done, so you can use the word steps and tasks. Okay. So, the lower we get from purpose to steps, the more goals become quantitative. Quantitative. It means you can measure it in numbers. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so numbers. The more you go to the aims and purposes, the more you become not quantitative, but qualitative. Qualitative comes from the word quality. Okay, quality. Quality. So, quantitative comes from the word quantity and quality. Okay, so when you think about quality, you use different terminology than when you talk about quantity. And so I will give you some words that will, for example, if you want to achieve your goals, what kind of words will you use as verbs for achieving goals? So let me give you several verbs for this. Okay, the first one will be, let's take the middle of this picture, the middle of the staircase. So if you talk about goals, you use the word to achieve goals, or you can use the word to reach goals. You can also use this word in connection with targets, to achieve targets, and also to achieve aims, to reach your aims. Or there is another word, to attain, aims, to attain your goals, to attain your targets. So these are the verbs that work well with targets, goals, and aims. If you talk about for purpose, the best way, the best verb that you can use is to fulfill. To fulfill your purpose. To fulfill your purpose. Okay? When we go down to objectives and tasks and steps, we will use words like to implement objectives or to accomplish tasks, but also can be used for objectives as well. Next one, to carry out, also can be used. Or finally, to do some steps or to make. So see, now we have not only the scope of goals, we have the verbs that we can use for respective types of goals. So to make a certain step, you carry out a certain task, you accomplish your objective or implement the objective, you achieve your targets or reach your targets, reach your goals, attain your aims, or you fulfill your purpose. Okay, I think that's a very good approach to using the terminology connected with goals. First of all, you can learn many new words here. Okay, and second, you can see what verbs you can use for these types of goals. Okay, so this is enough for today. We studied efficient and effective, and I hope I got you interested in doing right things, right? Second, I gave you a chamomile picture, by the way. Let me see. Chamomile. Chamomile flower of business functions with the core function and supporting functions. We used the example of Tom's Polytechnic University, and we showed that financial management that we're going to study is part of the supporting functions. And we looked at different terminology for goals from very specific steps, tasks, objectives, to more general targets, goals, and aims. And finally, the most general, the purpose. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next class.